Hello, Bronco fans and football fans everywhere. Welcome to Broncos Breakdown on the MHRT network, as well as my own channel, Broncos Breakdown on YouTube. This show is brought to you with emotion, passion, honesty, and of course, my comments along with yours in the chat. I am your host, Bronco Bill. Thanks, guys, for putting up with me and not being here yesterday, Friday, with the fireworks and everything going on the 4th of July. Everybody out there that watches this show knows I work at a golf course, and we were slammed yesterday. There's just no way I could get home and get everything put together and whatnot with the show. So, anyway, just thank you guys for bearing with me. And this is Saturday. But next week, it will be back on Friday. I guarantee it. I hope each and every one of you out there had a fantastic 4th of July. I hope everyone was safe, whatever you did. I hope you enjoyed it, whether it was relaxing or whatever you were doing. Just hope you really enjoyed the holiday and family, friends. And now we're just back into the regular routine, I guess, so to speak. All right, guys. I am going to start out with, if you look right here below my name, says 2 MVPs in Denver in the same season. Okay, what does that mean? Well, let me get to it. Here it is. For the very first time since 1989, one city is home to both the NBA and NHL's MVPs. Those two are, you guessed it, Nikola Jokic and Nathan McKinnon. Absolutely. Jokic, I think, has won it three times, not 3 in a row. Should have been 3 in a row. But I know he's won it twice, and I'm pretty sure he's won it 3 times. McKinnon's is only his first that I'm aware of. Also, listen to this. This is even bigger honors for Nathan McKinnon. Also, McKinnon is the first player in NHL history to achieve all of the following: a Stanley Cup champion, a Hart Trophy, a Ted Lindsay Award, Lady Byng Trophy, the Calder Trophy as well. Those have never been achieved by one player who had won the MVP. That is amazing. That's absolutely amazing. All right. McKinnon also scored 140 points, a franchise single season record. My goodness. Did the Avalanche get gold mined when they got Nathan McKinnon? Absolutely. And the Nuggets, didn't they get a gold mine when they got Jokic? Absolutely. Congratulations to both MVPs, Jokic and McKinnon. Nuggets, Avalanche, respectfully. In that order. Man, I'll tell you what, I'm stoked about them. I just wish the Colorado Rockies could do something to be somewhere in that mix, but hey, it's all about the owners and stuff. All right. As much as I try and get away from Courtland Sutton's drama, you can't. You can't get away from Courtland Sutton's drama because he's always in the sporting news. So here we go. Courtland Sutton wants a new contract. We all know that. Courtland Sutton wants a new contract in Denver. And 49ers wide receiver, I think it's called Ayak, is in a similar situation with the 49ers. So would San Francisco be open to trading Ayak for Sutton? Most likely not straight up. But if possible, they'd take Sutton and a draft pick. Okay. 5th round? 6th round? Okay. Ayak is 25 and Sutton is 28 years of age. Maybe a change in location would benefit both players. I don't know. I would go for that. I would absolutely go for that. But one, like I mentioned, or the article mentioned, Sutton's 28. Ayak is 25. Okay. You gain 3 years right there. Okay. Both want new contracts. Typically and normally, when you go to a new team, you know, if you have that kind of if you got that kind of skill set, you go to a new team and you get the money you want. Otherwise, you don't sign. Otherwise, the trade doesn't work. And that's how trades normally go. You say, "Hey, I'll go there. They're willing to pay me. I'll do it. I'm going." I want that trade, so to speak. Now, the player doesn't necessarily have the final say in where they go. It depends on who you are. I know Cortland Sutton doesn't, but he could say, "I'm not happy going there. I'm not going to sign," and then that would kill the deal. Okay, but the point is, if you go to a new team, you have new energy. Most people have a new energy. They have new drive. They have a I don't want to say thought process, but they have a like a something burr in their saddle, or they got a chip on their shoulder that they want to send to the former team that says, "Hey, see, you should have paid me because this is what I can do." And if that's what Sutton wants to do and that's what Ayak wants to do, why not? Why not make that trade? Maybe the Broncos don't want to give up a draft pick. And maybe they want to see if Sutton can produce this year like he did last year. Well, that gets into my very next topic along with Cortland Sutton topic course. We all know that Cortland Sutton wants a new contract. Exactly. But what if he stays in Denver? Does he need to do what does he need to do, I should say, to get that new contract? Well, he needs to have a huge season like last year. He had 10 touchdowns, career high, 10 touchdowns. So does he have to get 10 and equal that? 12, 11? This is a new quarterback on the Broncos. Russell Wilson last year was on the Broncos, but he was also there the year before, and Cortland Sutton was there. So there was a little bit of chemistry there. They knew each other, so to speak. Wilson made some ridiculous throws that Sutton had to make ridiculous catches for, but nonetheless, he still made those catches, and he had 10 touchdowns. So with a new quarterback, Bo Nix, Jared Stidham, Zach Wilson, whomever the quarterback is, it's going to be new to Cortland Sutton. Is he going to get the same results like he did last year, 10 touchdowns? I don't know. Maybe he gets more. Maybe he gets less. That's the thing. See, the Broncos are not going to pay Cortland Sutton what he wants to get when he still has 2 years left on his contract. They're not going to do it. They want to see production. They want to see what he did last year with a new quarterback. That's going to be tough to do. That's going to be tough to do. So, I don't know which Cortland Sutton we're going to see. Let me continue. He needs to be more consistent with his hands and ball security. Absolutely. Absolutely. If a ball hits him in the hands, he cannot afford to drop it. He can't. And he needs to hang on to the ball once he makes those catches. He's vulnerable to coughing it up. Maybe not into a fumble per se, but into an incompletion where he has the ball, the guy takes a hit and the ball pops out, goes out of bounds, or just pops out and it's still considered incomplete. That's what he needs to get over. If he can't get over that, then there's issues, obviously. And that's what the Broncos are looking at. They're saying, we're not going to pay him these big money, or what, not big money, but he's not going to pay him more money, and he has the same results or worse. He needs to be consistent. Let me continue. So it's all up to Cortland Sutton to show improvements in crucial areas. Absolutely. I just mentioned those areas. Hanging on the ball and being consistent. All right. It will help his standing in Denver or any other team. Maybe that's one reason why the San Francisco 49ers don't really want to part with Ayak for Sutton. Sutton's older. He's not as consistent. He's not the same caliber as Ayak. I don't know. Maybe. You got to remember who the 49ers general manager is. It's John Lynch. He knows the Broncos. He knows what the Broncos want. You don't think he's sitting back going, come on, man. You guys want one of our best receivers, and you're going to give me a guy who's 3 years older and inconsistent? I know he caught 10 touchdown passes, and I know that he made those ridiculous, amazing catches. I understand that, but he's inconsistent. See, John Lynch is not stupid. He is not going to just give Ayak over to the Broncos in a straight swap with Sutton, or maybe not even for Sutton and a draft pick. Obviously, it hadn't happened yet. So if Denver's really interested in shopping Sutton, which I really don't think they are, unless they get some kind of over-the-top offer, I don't think they're letting him go. I think he stays in Denver. I think they want him to prove that he deserves more money in a revamped, redesigned contract. That's what I think they want. They're not going to go out and just give him money, like I said. They're not going to do that. They did that one time with Russell Wilson, and it backfired big time. And now they're paying the ultimate price of dead money. They're not going to do that with Courtland Sutton. They're just not. But if Courtland Sutton wants to hold out, then hold out, dude. I mean, it's foolish if you do, because you're already getting paid some money, and if you hold out, that money starts dwindling away because they tack on fines. Sutton, you're just unbelievable, man. You're unbelievable. Oh, man. Well, I mean, for whatever Denver decides to do, it's out of my hands. It's out of my hands. I understand these guys want to take care of their families. I get that. They're one injury away from ending their career. I understand that as well. But so is everybody in a working force. Everybody in a working force has, obstacles and things that can end their career. I had a torn tendon and a damaged nerve in my right elbow. I had to take an earlier retirement that I didn't want to do. I wanted to go 30 years in the school system. I only went 28 in maintenance. I wanted 30. Couldn't do it. Got injured. Just they workman's comp. I couldn't work out anything with the school district. And anyways, I retired 28 years in instead of 30. Okay, I understand people do have their careers ended prematurely, so to speak. And in the NFL, yes, it's probably more likely because of all the hits and things you're getting. But Sutton, do what you got to do this coming year. Shut your mouth. Be more consistent, and the Broncos will reward you in the end. Just do your job, and they'll do theirs. All right. Now it's time for the jackass of the week. Okay. Former number 1 NFL draft pick Jamarcus Russell was fired as an assistant coach with Williamson High School in Mobile, Alabama. Why? Okay. And is facing a lawsuit accusing him of taking a $74,000 donational check meant for a school donation to the weight room. What? Come on, Jamarcus Russell. Seriously? Really? You took this check. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. It didn't say he did anything wrong in that little paragraph right there. Didn't say he did anything wrong. He took it. He's going to take it to the school. They're going to get the equipment. The kids are. That's not what he's doing. No, he took it as in I'm not giving it to the school. Okay. Well, where would he get it from? Who did he get it from? Why was the check in his hands? He is an assistant coach, not the head coach. He's not the athletic director. He's not the school principal. How did he get a hold of $74,000 check that was donation for the school's weight room? Okay, didn't say. Let me continue. Sorry, guys, hit my ring. Russell took the check, which was for weight room equipment, like I mentioned, a weight room equipment purchase, deposited it into a credit union, and then withdrew. What? and then withdrew $55,000 for himself. That's embezzling, dude. That is embezzling. That's a felony. Hey, DeMarcus Russell. No brains up here. No brains up here. Holy smoke. I know it's tempting. I understand it's tempting. I get it. I know it's tempting. I mean, a lot of things are tempting in life. You know, why do you think criminals run rampant? Because there's temptation everywhere. Man, I want that guy's car. I think I'll steal it. Man, $74,000 check in my hand. I'll deposit it because then, you know, it looks like I'm doing the right thing. And then maybe nobody will notice if I take $55,000. Are you freaking kidding me? Seriously. Nobody's going to notice? Oh, Mr. Russell, do you still have that $74,000 check that so-and-so gave you for the weight room equipment? Yeah, I got it. Well, can we have it? Well, let me put it this way. You can have 19,000 of it because I took 55,000 and put it in my own account. Now, I'm just saying that. I mean, obviously, you can't give it back. I don't know if he spent the money. Didn't say. Just said he took 55,000 for himself, leaving only 19,000 for the equipment, the weight room equipment. Okay, let me continue. Russell has been banned from being around the football program as well as the entire school. There you go. He's banned. But do they got their money back? I mean, obviously he's got a lawsuit against him. So something's going to happen out of here. And what if he spent that $55,000? How are they getting that back? And what if he says, "Oh, I can't pay it back. I don't have the money. I'm broke from the NFL because, you know, that's why I took the 55 because I'm broke." I mean, do these guys ever freaking learn? I mean, the thing that bothers me the most about this, okay? Now, I'm not saying that you know what he did was wrong. And I'm not saying it'd be any different if it was not from adults, but for adults. This is for kids in high school. A lot of people say high school kids don't look up to anybody. Oh, yes, they do. Kids look up to everybody. Look at sports figures. People look up to sports figures all day long. Kids look up to adults. And when an adult does this, it sends a negative message to the kids that say, "Huh, that's how it is. That's that's what you do. And when you ain't got no money, you just take it." I mean, it puts a sour taste in their mouth for one. For two, in my opinion, what it does is it puts distrust on it, obviously. And it's a bad look. It makes the school look bad. It makes DeMarcus Russell look bad, which obviously he did it to himself. It makes a lot of domino effect when somebody does this. It just does. The kids are devastated because they thought they're getting, weight room equipment. And they thought DeMarcus Russell, hey, man, we got DeMarcus Russell as an assistant coach on our team. He's a former NFL player. But he did this? Really? DeMarcus, you did this to our school? To our players who you were assistant coaching? And you turned your back on us and you did this. Why? Because of greed? You saw $74,000 and you thought it's okay to take $55,000 of it? I'm absolutely dumbfounded, guys. I'm absolutely dumbfounded when it comes to these things. It blows my mind. Yes, things are tempting. I've been tempted many times on things. You just don't react. You don't do it. You walk away. You say, no, that ain't right. Can't do it. Now, I'm not saying I thought of criminal acts or anything like that. I'm just talking about, just general things. I thought, you know what? If I do that, that could hurt somebody, or that could send a bad message, to somebody, that kind of thing. It's just, you don't act on it. You don't do it. You just don't do it. And that's the result. He's fired. He's banned from the school. Oh, by the way, that not only was where he worked, that was the alma mater of where he went to high school. So he did it to the players that are there. He did it to the administrative staff that are there. He did it to himself. And now he's banned from the very school that he went to. Way to go. Way to go, DeMarcus. Man, I don't know. That blows my mind, man. Totally, just maybe because I don't have a mind that thinks that way. I don't know. All right. Let's now go to a more devastating. Now, I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying it's not bad to take 55,000 out of 74,000 that was donated for high school weight room equipment. It's not what I'm saying. But yes, this did hurt people. Very much so. Distrust, all of that. It hurt people emotionally. The next jackass of the week is something that continues a lot in society. And this one not only hurt people emotionally, but hurt people physically. Here we go. I'm going to do the second jackass of the week. Early Saturday morning today. Yes, today's Saturday. Early Saturday morning today at approximately 3:49 a.m. Minnesota Vikings recent draft pick Kyrie Jackson, along with two others in his car, were killed by an apparent drunk driver. I'm sick and tired of this, guys. I am sick and tired of this. Okay? I know this isn't a Bronco player. It doesn't matter. Sports transcends, or things like this transcend sports or teams. This has to stop. Now, people say, what is he doing out of 3:45 in the morning or 3:40 or whatever time it was when they discovered it? That's a question to be answered down the road. My main question that my nephew brought up, it was a great question. What in heaven's name is a drunk driver doing at 3:40 instead of getting an Uber? I absolutely agree with you, Bobby. Absolutely agree. But the problem of it is most drunks think they're okay to drive. And now the Minnesota Vikings draft pick, I believe it was the 4th round. If anybody can correct me in the chat, I believe it was the 4th round. It doesn't matter. The guy was 24 years old, killed instantly. He was in the passenger seat. Well, I guess it wasn't his car, but he was in the passenger seat of the person that was driving, and there was a person in the back seat. The person driving and Kyrie Jackson were killed instantly. The one in the back seat was taken to the hospital and pronounced dead there. Oh, by the way, the drunk freaking idiot driver was female and didn't die. God, she's the one that should have. And Kyrie Jackson should still be alive. All right, let me continue. Kyrie was just 24 years young. The Vikings released a statement saying, and I quote, "We are devastated by the news of Jackson's death. Our thoughts are with Kyrie's family, friends, teammates." Remember, he was drafted, and there was OTAs and there was practice, so the players got to know him. Let me go back. Our thoughts are with Kyrie's family, friends, teammates, and coaches, as well as all the victims of the tragic accident. End quote. I am sick and tired of this, guys. I am sick and tired of this. And I'm not just talking about somebody like Kyrie Jackson, because it happens all the time. But when we're talking sports and we know sports and we know these players that are drafted and we can kind of relate to them. I mean, it's my nephew's favorite football team is the Minnesota Vikings. So to relate to that and to feel that, even though you don't know them personally, you know it's your team. And when something like this happens, that should never, ever happen. So apparently what happened, what the accident was, this female was speeding excessively, obviously, and hit the car that Tyree Jackson was riding in. And it careened off the road, hit several tree stumps before coming to a stop. And like I said, the driver and Tyreek Jackson were killed instantly. Passenger in the back seat was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. Very, very sad situation. That's totally preventable. Totally preventable. Now, on the football field, people get hurt. People, have injuries and things like that. That not necessarily is preventable. You've got, two moving forces coming together in a game that everybody knows the rules. Now, on the road, the rules don't allow for people to speed and be intoxicated, period. They don't allow it. It's not roller derby. It's not something like that. This is serious, guys. It's serious. And the only reason why I'm not advocating for, mothers against drunk drivers. That's not what I'm trying to do. But I'm trying to say it's an innocent life, like it happens all the time. This involved a football player, a drafted football player by the Minnesota Vikings, and snuffed out of his opportunity to be in the NFL and pursue his career. It's just, and then she's going to get off with what? Slap on the wrist? First offense? I don't know, whatever. I don't know that part of it. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this is absolutely unforgivable. You can't keep doing this, people. You can't keep doing this. It's got to stop. It's got to stop. All right. Let me back out, take a deep breath. Before I do, Kyrie Jackson, may you rest in peace. All right. Let me back out of this jackass of the week and go back to some Bronco topics. All right. See you on the other side. All right. Before I go on to the next topic, my nephew's in the chat. My nephew says, "I can't believe it." I know, man. I know you can't believe it. I can't believe it either. I know that's your favorite team, buddy. I know it's your favorite team. He follows it up by saying, "Thanks for bringing this to light." Absolutely, Rob. I mean, he goes by Robert Reed. I call him Bobby. But anyways, absolutely, this can't continue. I mean, it's just sad. Look what happens with that Raider guy, that guy the Raiders cut over in Vegas, doing 100 and something miles an hour and slams into that girl with her dog, just coming back from a park and doing a walk. It was just, she just minding her own business, and he just slammed right in the back of her. Right in the back. I think, who is that? Was that? That wasn't Stephon Diggs. I think it was the other Diggs for the Raiders. Anyways, slammed in the back of this girl's car, killed her instantly and her dog. Car just blew up because he hit the gas tank, hit in the back end, and just blew up. Oh, but he's okay. God, I hate this. Absolutely hate it with a passion. All right, deep breath. Now, this is going to get me fired up. If that didn't get me fired up, this certainly will as well, on the heels of that. Well, that got me fired up. This will get me fired up, or continue, I should say. Longtime Broncos safety Justin Simmons is still unsigned by any NFL team. According to Last Word on Sports, Mike Kabusha, don't even tell me. If you guys look I don't know if you can see it, but at the very top it says, would Justin Simmons go to the Chiefs? Yeah, that's what the main topic is. Would Justin Simmons go to the Chiefs? Here we go. According to Last Word on Sports, Mike Kabusha, the Kansas City Chiefs should make a strong push to sign the 4-time Pro Bowler. No, please don't go. I know, hang on. I know, guys, Justin Simmons wants a Super Bowl ring. I understand that. I get it. But he also loves Denver. Kansas City was always a nemesis, always, the biggest threat in the division. And now they're back-to-back Super Bowl champions, and they're trying for a third. Does Justin Simmons go to the Chiefs if they offer? Does he go to the Chiefs, or does he have his agent, I should say, contact the Chiefs and say, hey, like to work out a deal? I'm willing to come on over. God, that scares me. Can you imagine Justin Simmons on the Kansas City Chiefs holding a Super Bowl trophy? Not only a Super Bowl trophy, the first ever Super Bowl trophy to be awarded to a team for the third consecutive year. You think I want to see that? You think Broncos country wants to see that? Now, don't get me wrong. I would be absolutely happy for Justin Simmons to win a Super Bowl. Absolutely, hands down. I want him to win a Super Bowl, no doubt about it. Just not on the Chiefs, the Raiders, or especially not on the Chargers. Holy smokes, I think I'd throw up if that happened. But any other team, go somewhere else. Don't go to the division rivals. Because what that is going to do, not that it wouldn't do it with other teams, but it certainly would do it for the Chiefs, Raiders, and Chargers, put a spur in the Broncos' backside. It would be an absolute insult and a smack that the Broncos didn't keep him, find a different way to recoup $14 million and keep Justin Simmons, and then the Broncos win the Super Bowl down the road, 2 years, 3 years down the road, and Justin Simmons is on the team. But he's not on the team. And if he goes to the Chiefs, oh my gosh, if he goes to the Chiefs, I'm just telling you guys, the Chiefs, I'm gonna continue this topic here, but I mean, it's just, if he goes there and they do win a Super Bowl and it's 3 straight, it'll be the first team ever to go 3 straight. And Justin Simmons would be on that team. Might as well slap the Broncos' face now, because that's exactly what it would be. Exactly what it would be. And everybody, including myself, in Broncos country would say, well, that was a stupid move. Of course, I would say things a lot more stronger than that, but it would definitely be an absolute stupid move. Well, it's already been a stupid move for Denver to get rid of him, but it would even look worse if he goes to the Chiefs and they win the Super Bowl this coming February, 2025, 2024 season, and Justin Simmons is on that team. Wow. I'd like to see the Broncos brass, what's it called? Backtrack on that one. Oh, well, I'm happy for him. They'd probably say that. Oh, I'm happy for Justin Simmons. He got a Super Bowl ring. He got a Super Bowl championship. That's fantastic. No, it ain't. Not when it's on the Chiefs, it isn't. Or the Raiders. Or the, heaven forbid, Chargers. I don't even want him in the Super Bowl. But it would be absolutely slap in the face. It would piss me off. It really would make me angry if he won it in Kansas City. I'd be happy for him personally, but I don't know how much. I really don't know how much. Okay, Bobby comes up and says, Denver had no loyalty to Justin Simmons, so why should he have loyalty to them? I say go to KC. Woo! Mercy. I didn't expect that from you, Bobby. That's for dang sure. But you're right. You're right. To a point, you're right. The Broncos didn't have loyalty to him. Otherwise, they would have made a way to recoup $14 million some other way. Not by cutting Justin Simmons. I'm not too sure it wasn't a Sean Payton move. I'm not sure if maybe there might have been some, I don't know. I don't know. I got a bad feeling that was a Sean Payton move, not a George Payton. And if George Payton is really, truly the general manager, why didn't he step in and just say, no, hey, no. I'm the general manager. We are going to find a different way to recoup $14 million, but we ain't cutting Justin Simmons. That's not happening. It's not what he did. So who's really running this freaking team? Is it Sean Payton? Is it George Payton? Is it the ownership group? Well, I'm pretty sure the ownership group's only there for the money and for overseeing, but they're not running the team. Sean Payton is freaking running this team. And that bothers me because his ego is bigger than he can muster up. I mean, it's just bigger than his pants can hold up. Ego's out there, man. His ego is out there. All right, let me continue. He said Simmons inclusion could put the safety group over the top as the team goes for a never before three-peat. That's what I said. Kabusha also said, and I quote, of all, and here's where it really gets down to why Simmons could easily go to Kansas City. Here it is. And I quote Kabusha, of all the teams to try and net Simmons, who has a better pitch than Kansas City? Nobody does. Nobody. People say San Francisco. I saw a thing that said Vegas had San Francisco as the number one team in odds to win the Super Bowl. Number two is Kansas City. Okay. Well, that means San Francisco and Kansas City probably go back to Super Bowl again. Who knows? I don't know. But what I'm saying is if those two teams are that high up, 1 and 2, okay, and it could flip throughout the season. Who knows? But Kansas City's right there. Listen to this. Like I said, who has a better pitch than Kansas City? Nobody. San Francisco may say, oh, you know, we can bring him in. We got a great quarterback in Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy is not Patrick Mahomes. Brock Purdy is not Patrick Mahomes. Okay? Let's just make that clear, guys. Let's just make that really clear. All right? I continue, and I'm still quoting Kabush. The Chiefs have plenty of cap space as well and are early favorites for the Super Bowl. And by the way, they have a quarterback by the name of Patrick Mahomes. End quote. Just what I said. They're up near the top to go to the Super Bowl, to be in the Super Bowl. They have cap space money. They have cap space that they can throw at Justin Simmons. And they have a guy by the name of Patrick Mahomes as a quarterback. Oh, has anybody heard of the name Travis Kelce? Oh, yeah. Okay, that's the offensive side. But they also are loaded on defense, in corners, in safeties. And if they add a strong safety in Justin Simmons, that entire team would, in my opinion, and I hate to say it, but in my opinion, they'd be even better than the last two Super Bowl teams that won the championship. That's right. If Justin Simmons goes to the Chiefs on defense and he plays the Broncos twice and they play the Chargers twice and they play the Raiders twice, you don't think that Justin Simmons is going to give them some information? Come on, especially if he doesn't give them information about the Chargers and Raiders, you dang sure know he'll give them information about the Broncos. And you don't think he's going to have a chip on his shoulder? You don't think for one moment he's going to want to stick it to the Broncos and say, yeah, you got rid of me? Take that. Oh, by the way, look at this trophy. Yeah, you don't think so? Now, he may not do it outwardly because I don't see him being that type of guy, but I bet you he does it internally. If he goes to Kansas City and they end up winning the Super Bowl again for the first ever three-peat in the history of the NFL, you don't think he's going to feel that inside? I can bet your bottom dollar he will. I guarantee there's some part of him that's going to sit there and just go like this. Yep. I wouldn't doubt it. Would not doubt it for one bit. All right. Okay. With the offseason training behind us, people around Broncos headquarters are buzzing about Bo Nix. Okay. Good. That's good. Joe Lombardi said about Nix, and I quote, "The way Nix carries himself in the locker room as well as the quarterback room, he rarely makes the same mistake twice." Now, of course, they're talking about on the field and that kind of thing, all right? But the way he carries himself and apparently doesn't get too high on himself and doesn't get too low, doesn't chastise his receivers or whatever in the locker room, and the way he carries himself, he's very professional, and he just says he rarely makes the same mistake twice. Nothing seems too big for, I'm still quoting, nothing seems too big for Bo Nix. They've been nothing but pleased so far in his early development here in Denver. End quote. Great. I love that. That's fantastic. But nobody has still said who's going to be the starting quarterback. Nobody said anything. And the other issue is, if everybody, last show I talked about how Jared Stidham was possibly the favorite because he'd been under Sean Payton for the last 2 years and has studied and knows the playbook and all of that. And Bo Nix and Zach Wilson are having to, fast forward it really quick and try and digest it and get all that and the verbiage and everything. And Stidham has already gotten that for the last, at least the last year, he's gotten that. So, so the point is it really going to be Bo Nix to start? Or the next topic is Jared Stidham's quarterback position his to lose? Now, you got to remember, he played the last 2 games of last season, okay? So he's essentially the incumbent on the Broncos in their quarterback room to possibly lose the position. Why would you automatically hand it to Zach Wilson? You wouldn't. Why would you hand it to Bo Nix? Maybe you wouldn't, but that is a no-win situation, and I'll get into that in just a minute. Here we go. With the Denver Broncos in what seems to be a quarterback competition, is it Jarrett Stidham's job to lose? What do you think, guys? Is it his job to lose? Well, like I said, he had it the last 2 games of last year, but then you draft Bo Nix at number 12, and now you're sitting there going, wow, if I start Bo Nix, what if? And if I don't start Bo Nix, what if? I'm going to get into that what if right now. We did, he being Stidham. Well, Stidham does know Sean Payton's playbook. He did start 2 games last season and went 1-1. That said, the Broncos drafted Bo Nix to be their franchise quarterback, and sitting him wouldn't be a great move. However, if Nix goes out and the team goes 1-4, people will say he should have sat. But if he goes 4-1, everyone will say, see, he's the guy. To me, it is a no-win situation. No-win situation. How do the Broncos win that? The only way the Broncos can win putting in Stidham or Wilson or Nix to start the season and go at least the first 4 or 5 games, and the record is 1-4, no matter who you start, it's good. Okay, like I said, if you start Bo Nix and the team goes 1-4, people, including myself, are going to say, see, I told you we should not have started him. He needs to learn. He's not advanced enough in the NFL scheme of things, and the speed and just the verbiage and everything else. So you what if he goes 1-4? Now you're saying, dang, okay, now we got to sit him. We got to let him think about it. We got to let him watch. And then you put in Stidham. And what if Stidham, after the team goes 1-4, all of a sudden they won 3 straight. Now they're 4-4. You keep Stidham? Of course you do. What if you start Stidham and he goes 4-1? Now what? Now you got to keep him because he's 4-1. What if Stidham goes 1-4? You got to put Bo Nix in. And then what if Bo Nix goes 1-4? Now you're 2-8. It's a no-win situation. And by golly, I am so glad I'm not the head coach or the one making this decision, because there is no real answer. There is no real we're locked in. There's no doubt about it. We're locked in. We're going with Bo Nix, come hell or high water. Well, guess what? If you do that, you may find yourself in hot water. Not necessarily high water, but hot water as a head coach. But what if you don't start what if you don't start Bo Nix and you start Stidham and they go 1-4? Now you're in hot water because you didn't start Bo Nix. You see what I'm saying, guys? It's a no-win situation. Wow. I don't know what direction they're going to go. I really don't know what direction they're going to go. And if you guys recall, the out of the gate for the Broncos schedule is not easy. Not easy. You start in Seattle, and then you turn right around, come home, and play Pittsburgh. And people say, yeah, but that's Russell Wilson. Man, we're going to tear him up. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. You don't know. That's why they play the game, because you don't know. And anything can happen, guys. Anything can happen. I mean, look at last year. We had a huge lead on the Washington Commanders last year, and we ended up losing. Anything can happen. Broncos could have a huge lead against the Steelers and then implode. Oh, why? Because we don't have Justin Simmons. Well, we don't have a lot of players. We don't have Josie Jewell. We don't have Cushionberry on offense. We don't have a lot of players, guys. You don't know what's going to happen. That's why you have to sit there and really analyze. But in this situation, I don't know what direction they're going to go. I really don't. I don't know if it's going to be Stidham. I don't know if it's going to be Nix. I don't know if it's going to be Zach Wilson. I don't know who it's going to be. I really don't. All right. Bobby said, do you trust Stidham? Well, I don't know if I trust Stidham. I mean, he played well last year, beat the Chargers. Well, then again, a lot of people beat the Chargers. But anyways, he played well. And I think another year under his belt with Sean Payton will go a long ways. But if Bo Nix is not ready, and we're going to find out a lot about Bo Nix and Stidham when it comes to preseason. And I know there's only 3 preseason games, and they don't play the entire time. But I'm thinking with the Broncos situation with a rookie quarterback in Bo Nix, I think he's going to play at least the majority of the time. Maybe the first half of the first game. I don't know, maybe the second half of the second game, maybe into the third quarter of the third game. I don't know. But I don't know. Do I trust Stidham? I can only go by last year, Bobby. I can only go by last year. He was 1-1. And, like I said, he beat the Chargers, but everybody does. So I don't know. I will give you a better answer on that as we get into preseason. I want to see how they both play, or all 3 of them play for that matter. I want to see if there's any camaraderie between. I know Stidham has camaraderie with Cortland Sutton. Jerry Jeudy's not there now, but and then Tim Patrick's coming back. So there's going to be learning curves on all 3 of them. Which one rises to the top, and which one becomes the Broncos starting quarterback in game 1 in the 2024 season? Nobody knows at this point in time, but to kind of answer your question, Bobby, I'd have to say at this point in time, I trust Stidham more than I do Zach Wilson and more than I do Bo Nix. Why? Because Bo Nix has never played in the NFL as of yet. And Zach Wilson, he's trying to learn the playbook, and he wasn't really all that good in New York. And I know there was some other issues underlining all that, coaches-wise and everything. But nonetheless, at this point in time, because Stidham had a year with Sean Payton, I'd have to give him the nod. Not necessarily the nod to be the starting quarterback. That's not what I said. It's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I give him the nod according to what Bobby asked, and that was, do you trust Stidham? I trust Stidham over the other 2. We'll keep it at that. Okay? All right. Now, in order for the Broncos to do really well this year and years to come, Here's what needs to take place. Sean Payton knows the best way to help out their quarterback is a productive running game. Javonte Williams said, and I quote, "I think we can be that team. We need to do more and help more. I think everybody has that approach with it." End quote. Sean Payton said, "You have to be efficient in running the ball, and there is a lot of that, that goes into it." Now, he didn't elaborate because he's not going to give out secrets and stuff. All right. But you have to be efficient with what you're doing. We need to have better tight end blocking as well as our wide receivers. Everyone has to do their part. We have to be better across the board. End quote. I totally agree. The Broncos running game has to be the catalyst of what puts this team and propels this team onto the winning side. Go back to 1997. And I know some of you may not have watched football in 97 or really, had a favorite team or was a Bronco fan. But anyways, 1997, the Denver Broncos had Terrell Davis along in 1998, both of those back-to-back Super Bowl championships. How did the Broncos win Super Bowl 32? Yep, the running game. Terrell Davis was just mowing down the Green Bay Packers onto 100, I think got 175 or 174, 176 yards, something like that. And he didn't even play the third quarter. Can you imagine if he had played the third quarter? He'd have been over 200. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. When the Broncos, during that season, they were a running team. And the Broncos, when they have a running game, established solid running game, they win games. The passing game is sexy. It is. It's the great catches. It's the great throws. It's the 2 feet in bounds right on the sideline like Cortland Sutton did last year. That's all sexy plays. But when you want to win games in the NFL, you have to have a solid running game. You have to. You look at any NFL championship team, and 95% of the time they're winning the Super Bowls or the division or many games because they have a running game. Now, there have been some exceptions, absolutely. The Broncos won Super Bowl 33 by passing. John Elway was lights out in that game against the Atlanta Falcons. Should have been the Minnesota Vikings, but it was the Atlanta Falcons. And Elway lit them up like a Roman candle. Now, there have been some games, but the season is what gets you to the playoffs, and the playoffs is what gets you to the Super Bowl. And if you get to the Super Bowl and you can run off, multiple passing plays, great. And you win, fantastic. Absolutely. But to get you there, it takes a solid running game. And both of those championships the Broncos had, 97, 98, Super Bowl 32 and 33, they had Terrell Davis. And Terrell Davis, by the way, in that 1998 season, he had a 2,000-yard rushing. I think it was 2004, 2000 and I think it was 2004 yards he had in that season. And why? Because it's a running game. That's what the Broncos need in order to get back into the winning side of the ledger. You cannot do it all by passing. If you're one-dimensional, it's not going to work. Not going to work. They'll figure you out. They'll shut you down like nobody's business. And they'll throw away the key, and you're done. And you're absolutely done. They got to have a running game. Javonte Williams says he feels they can have a running game. Sean Payton knows the importance of it. He also stated that that's what Denver needs to be successful, hopefully make the playoffs. I'm not saying win the division, but I'm saying, to at least make the playoffs as a wild card. And then we'll go from there and see what happens. Once you're into the second season, known as the playoffs, anything can happen. Anything. All right. Now, the last couple of shows, I've talked about the NFL being sued. Then the NFL lost their lawsuit. And now there are major changes coming to the Sunday ticket. What, 2-3 years down the road? Nope. This coming season, the NFL has to provide certain changes because they got punished. They got slapped big time. Here it is. This is the very last topic of the show, guys. Very last topic. Just want to say thanks to each and every one of you for watching. I know it's a busy 4th of July holiday weekend. A lot of people are out and about. I get it. You still got a couple of days, well, the rest of today and tomorrow before everyone goes back to work on Monday. So just want to say thanks for taking out the time, of an hour of your Saturday evening. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. It just do me a big favor. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. It greatly helps my channel, Broncos Breakdown on YouTube, as well as the MHRT network. So thumbs up on both of those, please. And, or not thumbs up on both of them as well, but also subscribe on both if you have not. Really greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. All right. Last topic of the show. Now that the NFL has lost its lawsuit about the Sunday ticket, new massive changes will be in place for the 2024 NFL season. Here is what will change. The Sunday ticket will be available to bars, restaurants, and other businesses, not only via satellite dish, like it always has been. It's always been satellite dish with DirecTV until this past year, but also streaming. Now, how's that going to work? What's the cost of that? Didn't say. They're working all that stuff out, but they have to provide it by different means. It could be satellite dish, and now it's also going to be streaming. Here it is. The release of the news from last Tuesday, just several days ago, included the upshot by Everpass Media. Don't know what that is. I'll look it up and whatnot, but I'll check that out. Don't know what that is, but that's very, very interesting. Very interesting. All right. By the time September rolls around, the $70 price point could also be in effect. However, that may be just wishful thinking. Well, I don't think the NFL is going to stoop to $70 per household to have the Sunday ticket. I really don't think that's going to happen. Sure would be nice, because think about it. Why don't they do, like I mentioned last week? Why don't they do a buy-in? Like, okay, Denver Bronco fan, through and through. I go and I pay, let's say, $125 for the season. I get every single Bronco game that's broadcast, no matter what. I get every single Bronco game, period. So $125, maybe $95, maybe introductory to see how everything goes for, I don't know, $75, $70, like I said. What's wrong with that? The NFL will still make bank. They would make money. Now, yes, they'd love the $349, $349 package. Of course they love it. That's big money to them. But now their hands are forced to make massive changes because they got their hand caught in the proverbial money jar, and they got slapped. And the jury said, no, you can't do that. That's highway robbery. You're making people pay an exuberant amount of money just to watch their favorite team. That's stupid. That's totally stupid. Now, it's good marketing on their part because they got away with it for all these years. Not anymore. Not anymore. And now things are changing. Things are changing. So how much is it going to cost for the businesses? I don't know. Didn't say. How much is it going to cost for, let's say, streaming in your house? Wherever? I don't know. Didn't say. All I'm saying is things are changing. And it's about high time that this happens. I paid for the Sunday ticket many years. But when it got that $349, I can't do this anymore. I mean, that's a car payment. Or that's several bills. I mean, that's going to Costco maybe, and getting a monthly worth of food for 2 people, 3 people. I don't know. But it's a lot of money to some people. It's a lot of money to some people. And it's highway robbery that the NFL wants fans like you, me, and Broncos country and everybody out there to watch their favorite team, no matter who it is. It doesn't have to be Broncos. It could be any team you like. But you're strapped because you can't watch them because the NFL that's got you handcuffed because of their exuberant price of $349 for the Sunday ticket. When all you want to do is watch one team. That's my point. I don't watch the Sunday ticket if the Broncos ain't playing. When I had the Sunday ticket, I don't watch those games. You know what I do? I go to the red zone because then I can watch all the games and see all the good action and then just wait for my Bronco game to come on. And then I go and switch it to the local channel, or if I don't have Sunday ticket, then got to get it somewhere else. It's just, if there's a way, it's wrong. It's absolutely wrong to ask that, for the NFL to ask the fans to support them when they're making it dang near impossible to get the freaking package. It makes no sense. No sense whatsoever. I've never understood that. Well, we don't want to lose money for the advertisement we got on CBS and NBC and Fox and all this stuff. We don't want to lose money for people not watching that. You're not going to lose money. You're not. Lower the price. You'll get more people to afford it. Common sense, guys. Common sense, okay? This is basic math. Bring the price down. Okay, you got the price way up here. You're only going to have people down here. Bring the price down. Guess what happens? Balances out, and sometimes even goes higher because now you got people up here that are paying it because now they can afford what this is. It's not brain surgery. It's not rocket science. It's basic math. Guys, people like this. I work at a golf course where the owner has the same concept. Oh, we got to charge. No, you lower it down, you get more people. They don't get it. It's money hungry. And they lose concept. They lose focus. Stupid. Absolutely stupid. Anyways, guys, that was the last topic. Just want to thank each and every one. Jack Kenna is in the show. All right. In the chat, I should say. Hello from Richie's channel, the Wild Wild West. Nice to have you, Jack. Thanks so much for jumping in the chat. Really do appreciate it. I watch the show a lot. I really do appreciate the knowledge you guys have. And just being able to go round and around the Wild Wild West is great to hear all the different takes from each one of your hosts in there to talk about the different teams: Broncos, Raiders, Chargers, and Chiefs. So that's awesome, man. Thanks so much, Jack, for jumping in. Really do appreciate it. That's really kind of you. Thank you so much. That's it, guys. That's all I have. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you have not, please do so. It means the world to not only this channel, Broncos Breakdown on YouTube, but the MHRT network as well. Thank you guys so much for taking your time out. Like I mentioned earlier, just a few moments ago, really appreciate you taking your time to spend a little over an hour with this crazy 65-year-old Bronco fan to just talking sports. Really do appreciate it, guys. Before I get out of here, it was just a couple guys in the chat. My nephew, Bobby, Robert Marino, and Jack Kenna from Wild Wild West. So really do appreciate it. Jack does follow it up by saying he's now the new Raider host. Yeah, I heard about that. I saw that. That's awesome. That's great, man. Glad to have you aboard MHRT, and I know you'll do a fantastic job, man. That's a great show on Wednesdays, and it's a lot of great insight on different teams and their backgrounds. Really love it, man. So thumbs up to you, Jack. I know you do a great job. Anyways, guys, thanks again for being here. On the way out, please do me a favor and hit the thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. It means a lot. And you guys have a wonderful, fantastic rest of your weekend, rest of your Saturday evening. My show's not normally on Saturday, but due to the holiday and I had to work late yesterday at the golf course, we were slammed. And I just I didn't have any. I knew I couldn't have everything ready, and I wasn't going to just do a half-ass show. So anyways, guys, thanks a lot for showing up on a Saturday. We will see you next Friday, different location, but you'll see me next Friday. I'm going to be watching my brother-in-law's house, so I'll be doing it from there. But anyways, guys, until next Friday, have a fantastic rest of your Saturday, a great day tomorrow, and we will see you hopefully in the chat as well as watching next Friday night, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So then, guys, have a wonderful weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.
Fast lane when I pass in the street, bag of money in the passenger seat. Tempo's been asking for me on the road from the west to the east. Way up, I might never come down, cause the coast racking up the flight miles. So high, I might never come down, so what, this is my lifestyle. Wait a minute, work hard for the car, so that's why it's all tinted.